The contestants need to get ready because here they come. Oh! There's no place for mercy in the arena. They've got the tools and the talent, but do they have the teamwork? Where else can you see this kind of action? Nowhere but on Homicidal All-Stars. As our challengers try to overcome deadly traps, solve treacherous puzzles, but most of all, fight to survive a city full of murderous enemies. New dangers are lurking around every corner. And just when they think they're ahead of the game, that's when things will heat up again. Homicidal All-Stars. You won't want to miss it.
Okay, I think we're live.
No matter where in the world you are joining us from, we proudly welcome you to another live stream on Twitch for the upcoming chaotic calamity of excitement we call Homicidal All-Stars, coming soon to Steam and GOG. What's up, everybody? I'm Johnny LaQuasto, the voice of the announcer Joe Stern in Homicidal All-Stars. And once again, we're here with another stream so you can just get a buzz, you can get a feel, you can just get excited yourself for the upcoming release of this truly incredible game. I'm very lucky right now to be joined by Maciej Krasinski, the game designer at Artificer Games. Very excited to see you, man. How are you feeling right now? It's finally here. We're getting there.
Yep, we're getting there. I'm a little bit stressed, but that's like good stress. And I'm really excited to show you those things today, which is exploration. Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's going to be a lot of great options there. So before we get into the actual gameplay, kind of explain to us, you're a game designer. What does that entail? Because I know you've had a lot of experience. So with Homicidal All-Stars, what was the process like for you? I know it did not happen overnight.
It didn't. So the process lasted for me 2 years. The game has been in development for longer, but I joined the team and I hopped into our project. Well, because I always have these code names in the head, so I jumped into the Homicidal All-Stars to work on exploration levels, and this was kind of my job exclusively. I mean, I also did some part in tacticals, but I was mostly engaged in exploration. You asked what does it entail? Well, it entails a lot of writing, putting things into levels, playing, testing, scripting, sometimes some frustration, but also a lot of fun. It's a really cool process to put a game like that together and to, be able to express yourself or to give you some kind of a challenge to create some puzzles and things that really are something unique and something that didn't really exist before. So it's an exciting process. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine what that thought process was like, because you guys, the entire team, you created a game from scratch, and here we are now. I mean, it's so intricate from start to finish. We have so many different episodes, aka levels, things like that. I mean, how long has this process been for you, essentially from the beginning? And how did you get to be involved in Homicidal All-Stars?
Well, it's a long process and it's really difficult to remember all the things that I had experience with. But I joined Artificer 2 years ago, just like I said. Previously, I've been working on different games for a different company, which I won't disclose the names of, but the games were pretty different. They were more kind of like, you could say, service games because they were early access, and well, I felt like I wanted to have a different experience to try something else. So I found Artificer, or Artificer found me. I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway, that was a bumpy start, I think, because at the beginning it was really much, but it really, well, smoothed around the edges, and right now it's really good. And I mean, the process of the creation is got to be great in time. Like, you know, it's just like you said, it's an intricate process, intricate, complex things happen, and that was something that took a lot of hours to learn.
I could only imagine. Now, how does this experience compare to other video games you've worked on? I would imagine this is not the first video game
Um,
you've been a part of.
yeah, so this was different because other video games that I've been working on were mostly games that required me to think about mission systems and stuff like that, but they weren't really that engaging in terms of gameplay. Whereas here, you get to play in real time and you have to react to things that happen uh, on and on. So it was different in this regard. That I really got a chance to put together some real time events that happen that are scripted and happen in real time. Yeah. Sorry if it's really complicated what I say. I can try to explain it.
No,
But
no, no. Look, everyone completely understands. It's a very complicated process. When you were going through this, though, I mean, this game is not for the faint of heart. So, did you ever have those moments where you have to ask yourself, like, how the hell did my brain just think of that? And should I be committed?
well, I think this is. I can explain myself in a way that game designing doesn't require you to think about all those um, gruesome and I won't say filthy, but
Mm-hmm.
those, you know, blood and gore things. It requires you to think more of it like a puzzle. So you can work on just placeholders, white boxes, and you just think of a logic that goes behind a game. And sure, you also get to play around with the feel, with the look of the game. But
Mm-hmm.
this is for other designers to well shape and create. Because well, as a game designer, I was working on puzzles, on levels, on layouts, and stuff like that. So you don't always have to even get involved into how the level will look like, but what it
Sure.
will be like, what it will play like. And yeah, that's, I think that answers the question.
Yeah, and plus, most importantly, every one of you on the team has to look at it from a fan perspective, from a gamer perspective. Like, hey, this is a game I want to play. And I think that makes everyone all the more excited. I know for those who don't know, I recorded over 20 hours of my voice for this game over the course of 1 year plus. So to say that I'm excited and every other voice actor is excited is an understatement. And we finally get to meet the team for the first time. And so this is truly a collaborative effort globally. I mean, there are people from all across the world working on this game. So with that said, are you ready to get into some gameplay?
Yeah, sure, I'm ready, and let's get to it.
Right. So we're
Okay.
going to call some of the action here. So take us to where we're at right now. As far as I know, this is going to be in the old quarter, which would basically be the second episode of the game.
That is correct. This is the old quarter, which every exploration level opens with a short cutscene that previews the level and what it's there for you, what's ahead of you, So,
Love that.
okay, I click continue, and there will be a short cutscene.
Welcome back to Homicidal.
And that's one of the great things about Homicidal All-Stars is you get some really great introductions to whether it be, like you said, the old quarter, or guess what, if a new villain shows up, you get a close-up glimpse of who the hell you're going to be dealing with. And it just adds to the excitement and really makes you feel like you're in this chaotic atmosphere.
It's supposed to build up the experience, and it's kind of a, not suspense, but it's something that happens in television, right? The game is a TV show, and well, it's kind of normal for TV programs to do stuff like that. They always try to get your attention, to get you hooked on the show. So this is what we do at the start of the exploration level. We get you hooked, we show you some things, and you have to experience those things by yourself. So you have to get to them, interact with them, sometimes, well, die in the process because those exploration levels are riddled with traps and whatnot. And, well, that's the beauty of it.
Oh yeah, and for those joining us for the first time, if you're getting your first glimpse at Homicidal All-Stars, this game essentially takes place in the late 21st century. As you can see, society has kind of gone to hell in a handbasket, and this is a television show inside of a television show, essentially. Everyone is watching you play this game right now. Everyone is watching on national, global television. It truly is a game of survival, and right now you are playing with Scarlet, who essentially is the heroine of the game. She is the focal point in a way.
Yep, exactly, and you always, this is the main character of the game, so the exploration is mainly focused on her, but she also is accompanied by her companion, Marty, and they get to do some...
so much for being open 24/7.
Okay.
Looks like the challengers will have to figure out how to get into the Mega Mall.
Now I triggered a dialogue. So this is what I wanted to tell you, that sometimes they get to do stuff together, like solving puzzles, and sometimes they just talk. So it's well, the first thing actually that you can see in the exploration, that you are not alone. I don't really know how I jumped to that right now, but yeah, Scarlet is the main character, but you also get a companion. The companion is always there. You don't feel alone. Well, you can't feel alone while billions or millions of people are watching you globally, right. But you can really feel alienated when you're supposed to face such monstrosities like those spikes and whatnot.
And as far as what we're, the second episode, the Old Quarter, basically this follows the challengers as they explore the abandoned streets of what used to be a thriving city. And exactly. It's a very surprising, every level is surprising, but there's a lot of things that are going to jump out at you, whether it's different traps or villains, or obviously there's plenty of puzzles. There's a truly psychological element to Homicidal All-Stars as well.
Yep, well, so the exploration is kind of like a way for you, for the player, to interact with the game, to choose tactical levels, and to progress. So many games do it via some menus, and they are abstract, whereas here you get to play the character, feel the character, and well, accompany her along the way, so it's more personal, I'd say. And well, yeah, along your way you can find some traps, like you just said, like the trap here that I just disarmed. This one is a simple trap, but you will also find some rewards. So not only tacticals, not only traps, but also rewards.
Oh, she must have reward box radar.
Well, get you, I don't know how to put it, they get you stronger, yeah, just the rewards that help you thrive and become stronger, better, faster. You get the point.
Absolutely. And if you are in the live chat, feel free to put your questions down, put your comments, put your interest. We can get to your questions in just a little bit. So we want this to be as interactive as possible. If you're watching this, you're excited about the game, let us know what you're pumped for, what you would like to know more about, and we'll do our best to answer your questions.
Yes. Please ask questions. Questions are great. So, where we were at with exploration. Traps, right? We mentioned traps. Hello?
Yes, we got plenty of traps throughout the Old Quarter, no doubt about that.
Yep. But traps are just a minor thing that are supposed to, well, kind of disturb you, and you have to be beware that you're not safe in the place.
Right.
But they are not.
Neutralize that danger.
They are not designed in a way to keep you from playing. It's kind of like just to make you feel that the world is dangerous, and the world and game is dangerous, and you cannot really just run through it without thinking about
during this challenge.
Without looking around. Okay, but that's not the only thing about exploration. You also get fans that you can write sign autographs.
Sorry,
so you get a little bit of dialogue.
You can sign it anyway.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, the traps are essentially just a reminder that you need eyes in the back of your head. You can never really take a deep breath. It's to give you that element of I always have to be completely stressed, and I have to be, on my A game at all times.
Yep, kind of true. As in, you're supposed to not to forget about the setting of this world, but also exploration is kind of designed to give you a breather from tacticals. It's really difficult to show it without showing tacticals right now, but while you're playing tactical levels, you are engaged in combat. There is, music playing, and you are pumped. It's adrenaline inducing experience. Whereas when you finish a tactical level, it's kind of a relief for you because there's no music there. You can really relax. And although there are those traps waiting for you, you can take your time and progress at your own pace.
We move along here in the Old Quarter. It looks like someone is strung upside down there, which is not exactly shocking in Homicidal All-Stars.
Yep, there's plenty of gore, and our level artists make sure that the game really feels like a horrific place to live in.
Trap disarmed.
Horrific world. Yep. Some traps are designed to make you feel a little bit arcadey, so
That
you're
trap
supposed
won't
to
hurt
outrun
anyone
them.
now.
Some are just to be spotted and interacted with.
She doesn't miss a trick or a reward box.
Plenty of different things here, just as not to be boring. And well, we're getting close to ambush.
For those,
Yep.
and ambush coming up. For those wondering, there are 8 different episodes throughout
Taken off guard
the game,
by
and also we
ambushers.
talked
Are
about this
they
last
ready
week.
for this?
Orion Ford is essentially the
Oh,
mastermind
what a hit.
behind all of this evil that you're looking at. And the question is, can you get to Orion Ford, or is he going to continue to dominate with this entire show? He's the director of the show that you are trying to survive in.
Yep, exactly.
nothing to
Although
sneeze at.
in the exploration, you don't really get to think about Orion
Massive
Ford,
damage there.
Right.
as you're constantly thinking about surviving, which is the #1 thing in exploration. And what you see right now here is
And the
ambush,
scum is dispatched.
which are just short tactical levels that
And
are
that does it.
supposed
Those
to shake things up.
bushwhackers mess with the
You-
wrong contestant.
Sometimes you step across enemies that are inside of exploration levels. Those are not big tacticals. They are really just to give you a feel that those levels are not only for you to play in, but also there is some danger lurking around every corner.
The crowd always appreciates a chance to get up close
So you
and
combine
personal with
the
the
traps and the
contestants.
ambushes certainly keep you busy as you make your way through every single episode.
Exactly, and the main thing about those ambushes is that they take place exactly where the exploration is. So it's kind of like a neat intertwined connection that you can get out of this experience. And here we're coming up
Could
next
that
to
be the access card that
something
opens the
that
Mega
we
Mall?
call labyrinth traps, where you're on your own and your companion is locked away. And actually you have to figure a way out of this situation.
And this just became more interesting.
And I would imagine throughout the episodes, getting your way through each episode, surviving to quote the next night of the broadcast, there's a different way. There's a different way to
Located a
survive
safe
every single
spot
episode.
behind the wall
I
of
would assume.
flame.
Oh,
Yes.
I got that.
And the challengers make their way through a scorching situation.
Exactly. So there is a different way to survive because all those traps are different. We believe that
Looting
those
another
traps
reward
shouldn't
box.
rely on a repeating mechanic that is being iterated on throughout the game, but instead
Right.
all those traps, all those puzzles are kind of different from each other so as to give you a really unique experience. This makes this whole exploration thing stand out because you are experiencing different places, different biomes that look different, happen during a different time of day, and so on. Okay. Now we just survived an elaborate trap, which was really easy as compared to other elaborate traps that are ahead of you, that are ahead of us. Because this is just a second level, you're supposed to learn the ropes, see how the game plays. Of course, it's just a means of traversal. I mean, the exploration, it's not supposed to give you a real challenge. It's supposed to give you a breather from tacticals, as well as give you a way to enter tacticals.
And that does it.
It was
The
also a very
challengers
interesting
now
way
enter
that you
the Mega
freed
Mall.
Marty up there just a moment ago.
Yep. I mean, sometimes Marty is intentionally locked away, and Scarlet has to deal with the traps on her own. So that, I mean, it could be there, but it would really make things more complicated for the player, especially. Which is why some traps really require just Scarlet, because this is a one-time experience for her to prove herself.
Right.
And here
Am I allowed?
Yep.
Am I able to give a little bit of info on Marty for the viewers?
On Marty, so he's a second-time contestant. Like he's already won the show, and he re-entered to live this through again.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think I might say that he's kind of he doesn't know any better. Just the show. This is his life, and this is how. This is why he's here again. Because to be honest, if you win such a show, I believe you wouldn't want to come back to this.
Well, in a way, Marty's no Boy Scout. In a way, he's essentially kind of a career criminal turned anti-hero when it comes to Homicidal All-Stars. And so, like you said, this is really the only world he knows. Whereas most people would be terrified to be competing, Marty feels almost like at home and sees a lot in Scarlet as far as, her survival skills.
Exactly, and this relation of theirs is the player can really experience this relation through dialogues that they have. On exploration, there's plenty of things scattered around that you can click on, and then there is dialogue, and you can You can listen to them talking about things like this little blood splatter.
That's more
The-
blood than is in a
Yep.
single person.
Yeah. 2, maybe 3 victims here.
Victims?
And you could just see the
Cops
detail
talk.
of
Thought you were a
destruction
bounty
just
hunter.
blows
Yes,
me
I
away,
spend
because
too much time
much like the
hanging
viewers,
around them.
this is really the first I'm seeing of this game, even though I've been working on it for so long. You know, video games keep things very secretive, so I'm looking at this for the first time with my eyes wide open like everyone else is, and just the detail of the environment and just all the chaos is so fun to watch. There's little things you can see with every single episode.
Heads down for level artists. They are really great.
Yeah.
And they really knew how to create this experience. And exactly, I mean, this is what you get out of Homicidal All-Stars, which is a really big portion of levels that are detailed and really, well, that are really set to give away the feeling that you are participating in a world that has fallen, kind of. Because this is what it is. It's
Yeah.
well, it's a thing of a past city here. Like it was a city at some point.
I've compared it before to kind of a mix between Hunger Games and Demolition Man. Just a society that has gone to complete and utter ruins,
ready for some
and
blood,
people
folks.
are perfectly
I'm not
fine
talking about
watching
the
other
selections at the
people
deli counter.
try to survive a game of possible death.
Oh, it's the development of reality shows, I think.
Yeah. True,
And-
very true.
And here we are entering an arena. So we were just talking, and we were locked away from further progression because exploration is divided into bits of gameplay where you come up to the point where you have to take part in a tactical, which we're about to do right now. And this is the way you progress. You play exploration, you find traps which you can, well, trigger or...
Now we'll find out if Don't Die is on our Challenger shopping list.
Yep. Sorry, I was just listening to the dialogue. I love them.
That's all right. And what we just saw there is you're facing off against the scum, which you're going to see scum throughout the game. Criminals, psychopaths, they're trigger happy, they're murderous. It's almost like they are, tunnel vision, single thought process. They just want to eliminate you in whatever way possible using whatever weapons possible. So you will see the scum, and even the villain details are incredible too with these characters.
Yep, exactly. Here we were just going to skip the level because we are not focusing on tacticals. So
What a
through the magic,
spectacle! Time to
through
see
the
how these
developer
challengers
magic,
rated.
I can skip
Battle
them.
performance ratings are
which
affected
is
by
not
fulfilling
possible
optional
in
tasks.
the regular
In the
gameplay.
case of a team-up situation,
But what was I talking about previously is that exploration is partitioned
Having
into those
survived the
bits of
Mega Mall,
gameplay
it's
where
time
you
for
get
our
to
contestants to see
experience
what other
traps,
dangers await
disarm
them in the
them,
old
trigger
world.
them, and at some point you end up with a tactical level ahead of you, and you have to play it in order to unlock a third passage, just like we did here. So this door was previously locked. Now we can enter, and whoop, there is a loot
for
box.
these combatants,
Hey,
rewards can
there it
make
is,
all
a
the
reward
difference.
box. You're going to hear me say that a lot during the game.
Exactly.
If these former luxury apartment buildings weren't condemned, they'd be a great place to watch the show from.
Well, you were talking about Scarlet and her companion, but I think also your character, which is the announcer, is like a legitimate character in the game because actually he accompanies Scarlet for even longer than Marty, because at the beginning of the game she's alone, but the announcer is there, so it's like the third character that's always there.
Well, that
And
seemed
that's an
open
honor to hear you
something.
say that. And
But
for me,
what?
I didn't know how the
really
game was
wanna
going
know?
to
Could be something
involve my character. I knew I was calling the action, so I kind of pretended as I was recording that I was kind of in like a little skybox, as if I'm in the top of a stadium, kind of looking down on all the chaos. Like I'm in just this little room by myself, I have I got a bunch of cigarettes lit. I got my coffee, maybe a couple other things, because I can't imagine a normal human being would want to broadcast this. But that's Joe Stern for you. So that's kind of where I was mentally when calling this action.
Yeah. So I hope that I hope that you had fun recording those lines. Yeah. And here, what we just did, we unlocked a passage by pressing this button here, which is connected by a cable to a different door, which we can follow. And there it is, another ambush. So just not to make you feel safe, like we spoke before, those ambushes are supposed to remind you that the game is about fighting.
Essentially right from the gun. It's fighting nonstop. It's trying to always see what's ahead, which is very difficult to do when the game is so detailed and so creative as far as making it difficult, to essentially get all the way through. And that's one of the best challenges of Homicidal All-Stars is when you make an investment in a game, you want to make the investment knowing that you're going to get your full entertainment value, you're going to be excited, and that's the fun thing about it.
One thing that I really love about ambushes is that you can actually see them in the exploration level.
That's gotta hurt.
I mean, I don't know if you can hear this, but there is
He didn't miss that one.
the crowd's chanting, "Finish him!" I love this.
And I will throw a little thing in there. I am also one of the voices with the crowd stuff. Like finish him, and I would just distort my voice in different ways. So yeah, I recall those words.
Okay, that's great.
So much for that, scum.
Well, what was I saying? I love those ambushes because they are actually in-game, they are visible. You can see the scum lurking. It's just that you have to be really perceptive, of course, but they don't come out of nowhere, which happens especially in older games. Like, well, I remember playing Final Fantasy and other games, and you're just exploring some areas and enemies come out of nowhere, which won't happen here. Enemies are always there, if they are lurking. And the door we unlocked, it leads to
Looks like someone's got their eye on our challengers.
Hang on in there.
some other trap, but this one is really different from the other.
It sure is.
Yeah. So here we are facing a laser that is shooting at us. Oh, here I let the game hurt me, and the job of the player is to figure out.
The challenger's night ends in disaster.
Oh no!
Scrape this team off the arena.
That's how we
And
die.
Scarlet gets cooked.
Exactly. And now we can load last, and really this is something that's great about exploration, that it doesn't really, make you replay all the huge parts of gameplay. You can just
Looks like someone's got their
play
eye on our
around,
challengers.
and you don't have to worry that, oh, I will die in this exploration level and this will erase my progress.
And they've got this
it's not like that.
firing on
It's
itself.
really supposed to be fun first, and then give you challenge.
Yeah, no doubt.
2 down, 1 to go. And that's that. The reward box awaits.
Once again, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is Homicidal All-Stars. This is the second episode, aka the Old Quarter. And what this game is going to be is essentially a game of survival. The entire world is watching you play this game because you are in the deadliest game show in television history, and you are trying to find a way to survive through all of the episodes. So you can essentially achieve worldwide fame, a solid fortune. That is obviously the goal, but not many people make it. The question is, can you? And as you can see, the gore must go on. My God, that is just...
Exactly. That's exactly why I stopped here, because on those television screens you can see yourself as in being inside of this show, just like people are watching you. And Another autograph.
Lucky.
Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. This is the first time I've seen this.
Yeah, the funny thing is that while signing those autographs, you're choosing which way you want to go with those personality traits that help you unlock different sponsorships. But for me, I just like being nice. So every time I play the game, I always choose the nicest option.
Well, plus, you know, as the character, you sign an autograph or two, at
Safety
least it gives
first.
you a few seconds of a breather. Because you could assume, maybe you can assume that a fan's not going to try to blow you up. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, yeah, no, not that. This is not a kind of a fan that blows you up. Here we just unlocked another passage, so we can get to the same place, kind of like almost like Castlevania-like. And there is a shop station where you can buy some grenades, utilities, weapons, or you can also donate the items that you don't really need anymore in return for fame, which is great because you get to sign new sponsorships, which give you passive bonuses.
That switched it off.
Another set of traps. So what you're seeing here is flame trap, and there was some tripwires, also some blades, and all those things are kind of what you can see in the exploration. And it's not by accident, because all those traps always give away the feeling that the exploration, the feeling of a place the exploration is taking place in. So when you're playing on a different level that happens, I don't know, in a more industrial area, then the traps are more like, you know, they look a little bit different. Or when the exploration is set in some acidic place, then there are some fumes that well do essentially the same job. They're there to kill you, but they just look different. It's more fun to die of different things, right?
Well, also, they keep you from essentially moving too fast and sprinting through the game. When you constantly have to be on the lookout, you're gonna move a little bit slower through the game. Plus, you're going to observe more, and you might discover more as well.
Okay, we're receiving information that the game is a little bit too loud, so let's just turn it down a notch. Okay. And here, there is yet another elaborate trap, which we triggered by entering a place, which we were really supposed to go through, but again, Marty is locked away right there, and we have to figure out a way on our own. And
Good use of the available cover.
there is a turret shooting at us, so we definitely don't want to cross the turret, because, well, then it will just kill us. So we can just...
And this appears to be, is this a graveyard, or is the city just this morbid at this point? It's difficult to...
I would go with the second option, because
Yeah.
it was, formerly it was a park.
Wow.
Getting closer
Well,
to the turret.
The whole city is kind of a graveyard. And
Yeah, that's a
here
great point.
Here we are. We just managed to outsmart this, let's say, security device, which was shooting at us.
Turret's offline.
And the turret's
It's safe
offline.
to walk the park again. For the most part.
And I love the fact that you have a drone constantly keeping you in the spotlight.
Oh yeah. It's a really cool experience.
It really is. It gives you that feel of like, oh, wait, I'm on global television right now while everyone's trying to kill me.
Exactly. And here we are, well, in front of another tactical level, but we can also do some exploring because we've just managed to outsmart this turret, and this area is open. There is some space to walk around. Marty is with us again, although. Okay, we got lost for a second. Here we can walk and maybe find some goodies here, like a loot box.
Where to find those
So
rewards.
some loot boxes aren't that visible. You still have to watch out for them. There is this counter that can tell you whether or not you are well progressing and you are acquiring all the things that are there for you.
Right.
So by pressing T, I can see that I still have an optional tactical arena left. There is 6 out of 11 loot boxes and 2 out of 5 autographs, which well, it's a solid information that really helps the player keep track of their progress.
Nice play.
And just on a side note, I would love to know the backstory to all the fans that actually have the guts to go outside and watch this live, like asking for autographs. It just goes to show just how completely insane this society has become. You know?
Oh yeah, really. But have you ever seen rally footage where people are just standing close to to the road, waving and screaming and I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, in the U.S., I've seen that all too often in the last 6 years. Yes.
So yeah, and those people are also kind of crazy. So I mean, I'm one of those people myself because I love rally and that's kind of believable for me that some people would pay top dollar to see such a show.
Sure.
Okay, and Railway to Hell, which is another exploration level, but still we have another optional tactical arena left, which is there, I believe. So we can go there and see it for ourselves. Yep, because this is yet another thing that we feature in the game, which are tactical, optional tacticals, sorry. You don't always have to, well, take part in all of those challenges. You can skip some parts, which are marked by blue color. Oh, there's even a tutorial pop-up for you. That some challenges are optional. You don't need to finish them to complete an episode. But doing so gives you rewards.
Having a party in there,
which
and
is
they
great.
didn't invite the challengers. Talk about
And up in the left-hand screen there, it says Killer House Party. Is that essentially a nickname for the team there, or what is that exactly?
This is a name for the level, so it's just for just to mark what level you're playing in is, so it's not named level A, level B, level C. All those names are, well, kind of thought of to evoke certain feelings and kind of spoil what's ahead of you. So the Killer House Party, of course, there's a killing involved in the level, and it happens in the house. So yep, but we'll skip that. It's what we agreed on.
Well, that's a wrap for this challenge. With this talented group of contestants making it through without a single casualty.
And as you can see, we got a reward, which is
There it is.
a cleverly spelled Kevlar.
Ah, I like that. And there are reward boxes all throughout every episode. You always have to be on the lookout for them. And don't worry, when you get yourself a reward box, you're going to hear it from me.
Exactly.
Even when they don't have to.
So here is another opening of, another door to open. And what's here? So here we
A
got
reward box this difficult to snag is bound to contain something interesting.
a whole different thing, like something we didn't see before on this level, which is a split challenge, special challenge, co-op puzzle. There is a lot of names that I know for this because, well, when you're developing a game, then you have some code names for things that don't really exist yet. So I refer to them as co-op puzzles, and you're given the chance to play as both characters simultaneously. You can switch, and you can interact with the world in a way to get that loot box.
And there's the first barrier down. Jolted!
Incredible. And that looks like an
No way to
electric
get to that box
kind of
with that
barricade
electric
there.
barrier
If I'm...
still running.
Exactly.
Okay. And there's a bunch of fans that are just completely rabid for Scarlet and Marty.
They are devoted.
And they freed the box from its trap.
And that's this thing. It was a really simple puzzle. It was supposed to show you what is it like to switch between characters, that you can press tab and you can access Marty for a while and interact with the buttons while Scarlet is getting through those electric barriers. And later in the game, those puzzles will get more and more complex, and you'll have to stand in certain places with one character and the other can move on, and so on and so on.
You think this might explode?
Don't know, and I don't recommend.
One thing you'll see, a lot of automobiles on fire throughout this game.
Throughout this level, for sure.
Yeah.
Throughout this game, I'm not so sure about that. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, there is a lot of levels, and each level is really different. I'd say. Well, I hope I will have a chance to show you some other levels, or I hope you will see them for yourselves, which is even more exciting. Okay, so let's progress. Here we are in just like I said before. Oh, wait, there's this loot box. Oh, but it's already open, so because it's not glowing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take part in this railway to hell to progress.
To reach the final challenge of the night, the
And just
players
like
need to get a
Just
ride
like I
on
said
the
before,
sky train.
railway to hell, because the level is taking place on a railway.
And now you're up against Scum and a Ronin as well. We already talked about the Scum. Ronin, especially dangerous in close quarters. They basically, anything sharp, they're going to grab it. So they have a sword. So you don't want to get too close to a Ronin. You want to try and get rid of them beforehand. If not, they're going to slash you. So you have a Scum and a Ronin. You're going to see them quite often as you battle.
Yep, that's right. You're also gonna see different enemies, and there is lots of enemy types. Each of them is really different from each other, and they give you they are challenging, but each of them requires a different strategy. Just like you said, the Ronin, you have to take care of them first because they're up against.
And they've done it with
chasing
zero
you with their blades,
What a
slashing
display
at
of
the first
talent
chance they
and
get,
teamwork on the challenger's
which is
part.
bad. You don't want to have your character sliced to pieces.
Right.
What a ride! Next up, final challenge.
Is it just me, or are these episodes getting longer?
And this level got us here
Feel longer after a while.
because it was a railway. We
I'm good for
we
now.
spawn on a different location, and there is this last challenge ahead of us. Each level is built upon a premise where you have minor traps, elaborate traps, and there is kind of a one big challenge before the final tactical level.
So essentially, you've been moving along pretty well, and you might be getting close to the end of this episode.
Yep.
Trying to
Okay.
sneak past the drones.
This tells a lot about exploration, that it's not really long when you skip tacticals, because it's not supposed to be long. What it's supposed to be is like a chance for you to play the game at your own pace. You can skip through it, you can run through it, or you can explore every corner and then get all those rewards that are waiting for you in loot boxes. And here
And for
we...
the-
Yep, sorry.
And just going to say, for those of you checking it out for the first time, Homicidal All-Stars is what we are playing right now. It's going to be released very soon on Steam and GOG. So I'm going to sum it up for you real quick. If you don't know Homicidal All-Stars, it is the most brutal reality game show ever, and it's in the future, late 21st century. You have to survive a deadly urban environment packed with all types of stuff. Lethal traps, confounding puzzles, murderous, heavily armed psychopaths, and it's all because of essentially one man, Orion Ford, who is more or less, picture the most evil Elon Musk you could ever have in your brain. He's in charge. You are part of this reality show. You are the star only if you can survive. And that's how
Wish we could just shoot 'em.
completely insane this game
Around
is.
here we can. Gotta mix
Exactly.
things up for the fans, right?
I wouldn't say it better.
No need for that. I'm fine.
Okay. And we got rid of the drones. They are not anymore. And we can also access the rest of the level. So levels are always available for you to explore if you are still on the exploration level. So right now we're just opening the door. Oh, doors. There's
I
one
love
of
the
them.
fact that even though most of the city's been destroyed, you still see the remnants of all of, whether they be statues or artwork. And then, of course, there's the LED screens featuring your character's, likeness. It's really incredible to see the detail of everything around you.
To some extent, all those levels are furnished by Omega Corporation, by the TV show, so that those fans are able to watch the show from every angle, because they are riddled with traps by the
watch out
Omega.
for those
Okay,
tripwires.
so here was a tripwire,
Spotted the trap in time.
and actually there is even more traps ahead of us.
So the last thing you need is more traps, but we got plenty of them.
Exactly.
That's the last reward box for tonight.
Oh, and here is Marty. Marty is, at the very beginning of the game, you are playing alone, and that's fine. But when you get the companion, I really love that experience. Like someone being with me at all times. It's great, really.
And essentially, you can also choose your character. That right now you're playing with Scarlet and Marty, but there are 7 main characters that you're allowed to choose from essentially at the beginning. And do you also get to choose who you team up with as well, is what you're telling me?
You get to choose what characters are you going to play a tactical level with.
Yes.
Here we don't get that. Oh, okay. Now the game is telling me that I still have some autographs to sign, so I don't want to commit to this tactical level yet. I still have some job to do here. But coming back to the topic, you can choose between different characters for tactical levels, but you're experiencing exploration with Scarlet. Scarlet is the main character, so you cannot play as Marty throughout the whole game in exploration. Of course, later, when you have 7 characters, you can... 7? Is that... Yep. You can choose some different characters and leave Scarlet be, but that's up to player. Up to the player.
An autograph, please?
Here's
An
the missing
autograph?
one.
Sure.
Thanks. If you die soon, this will be
Okay.
quite a collectible.
What do I just inspire you? So okay, let's just be
What
a
the?
jerk.
What a bitch.
Oh, it's the game is not only graphic but also there are some strong words used, just like you could see here.
And I think that's only fitting considering the overall vibe of the game. Look, you got to keep it realistic.
Yep, of course it would be pointless to have them say beautiful things about themselves and about other people whilst they are just smashing their heads in. Okay. So, what am I missing? I think there was an autograph here. Okay, that's, I think, nope. Okay, I think it's fine too. You can go to the final level. And that's really it for the old quarter here.
So we're not going to the point where you move on to the next episode, I'm thinking, correct?
Not really. I wish I could show you this, but I think it's reserved for another time for a different stream, maybe for a different person to speak about their job. Well, so how much time do we have left, Adam?
These
All right.
steps remind me a lot of the end of Ghostbusters. Just the massive steps going up, and there's like a demonic light.
But there is no marshmallows.
No, unfortunately not. And there's no dog. But well, then again, there might be. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Let me just see the technicalities. Is it time for questions? Okay, so I think it's time. It's time for the questions from the chat.
Sounds good. But while we get to those, for you, being the game designer, what makes this game stand out to you as a fan and as someone who loves what you do?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I hope we will have time for for questions from people from the chat.
Sure.
Well, so personally, I believe there is not many games on PC where you get to experience the tactical shooter genre in this way as we presented in Homicidal All-Stars. This game is really approachable. Those levels are short. You don't really have to plan ahead everything. You have different characters, but the game is beatable with all of them. You can really feel free, be yourself, and play the game at your own pace. Okay, I'm with the camera. I don't have to play the game anymore. So you can play the game at your own pace. You can even be a newbie. You don't have to love this genre to really enjoy this game, which is something I love. Because, well, let's be honest, some tactical shooters are really difficult. Maybe if it's not the difficulty set by the game itself, the entry level is really high. I mean, you have to pay a lot of attention to intricate management style menus where you have to choose whatever abilities that there are for multiple characters, squads, and units. Here, the game is more streamlined. You can, well, really just have fun without thinking ahead about everything, which is something that I don't find often for tactical shooters, especially on PC.
And you also were talking earlier about, the real-time exploration, and that's one thing that I think the entire team wants to get across is exploration is such a big part of this game. Like, yes, there's a lot of theatrics and it's completely crazy and there's all this chaos, but there is a psychological element to it. There's a really great observational element to it. So you guys did a great job of making sure exploration was essential.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And it was also a great way to to convey the story, because, well, it'll be more difficult to make the story happen through just tactical levels. So exploration is a great tool to give the player lots of information without really needing to rely on long, deep dialogues in, scripted lines, and just you can experience those things yourself by just walking into triggers and talking short bits of dialogue. Oh, okay. that's enough, I think.
Yeah, and as far as me being a fan and me watching this, like I said, yes, I'm a voice in the game, but I knew nothing about the game with gameplay. I didn't know anything until I just started doing these streams last week. I see a really cool throwback vibe to Homicidal All-Stars going back, 20, 25 years. Was that kind of a mindset with the entire team putting this game together?
Yeah, I believe so, because, well, we all are children of the 90s. We were brought up in more or less the same time period, and we got to experience the same shows, the same films. So it's kind of a nostalgia throwback for all of us. and this is something. I mean, this is something you see in a game from the get-go, and it was intentional, but it was really something. It was thought to be not intrusive, because you can overdo things, of course. And here we went for kind of a, how to put it, it's intentionally a B-class movie, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really aware of itself, kind of.
Right. That's one thing I noticed too, even with my dialogue while I was recording. A lot of sarcasm coming from Joe Stern is what you're going to hear.
Yep, exactly. And from other characters, I love the one line that Scarlett has, that she says, "I'll be there," almost like she was a Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Terminator movie, something like that.
Nice. I love that. Now we're going to go to a question from the chat. What happens when you die from the flames or traps or spikes? Is there a reload to a beginning level?
Well, there's a reload to the latest autosave, or to the latest save at all, because you can also save the game by yourself by hitting a pause menu and accessing the save menu. So you can load up the latest save or restart the level if you feel like it. I think that answers the question.
Absolutely, it does. And I believe as far as chat goes, that's what we have right now. So Maciej, is there anything else you would like to get across as, you know, the game designer for Homicidal All-Stars? It's coming out soon. Everyone's excited. And man, I'm so happy to be doing this.
I think wishlist the game. That's I would like to get it across to everybody that has not done so yet.
Mm-hmm.
And well, wait for it, because I think it's worth it. It's really worth it.
No doubt about that. Steam, GOG, you can wish list it right now. Homicidal All-Stars. It's very easy to find. So if you're watching this right now, send this stream to a couple of friends. Tell them about the game. It's going to be well worth your while. And we're going to be doing these streams essentially every week up until the release of the game, which is coming very soon. Once again, Steam, GOG, Maciej Krasinski, thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations to you. I know it's got to feel amazing to have all this hard work come to fruition.
Oh, it does feel amazing. It also feels really, I'm relieved right now because the stream is about to end, but I was so stressed about coming here and talking to all people, you know. It's
word of mouth is huge, and who knows where this game can go to so many heights by word of mouth. So Maciej, thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, you could follow Good Shepherd Entertainment right here on Twitch. You could also follow Homicidal All-Stars on Facebook. There's a great Facebook page. They are posting stuff essentially daily, so make sure you follow there. You can follow me at jquasto. I'm advertising the game like crazy on all of my social medias, so I'm JQUASTO. I can, point you in all the right directions there. And we'll be seeing you next week right back here on the Good Shepherd Entertainment Twitch stream as we promote Homicidal All-Stars. We are getting there. Wish list it now. Steam, GOG. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
The contestants need to get ready, because here they come. Oh! There's no place for mercy in the arena. They've got the tools and the talent, but do they have the teamwork? Where else can you see this kind of action? Nowhere but on Homicidal All-Stars. As our challengers try to overcome deadly traps, solve treacherous puzzles, but most of all, fight to survive a city full of murderous enemies. New dangers are lurking around every corner. And just when they think they're ahead of the game, that's when things will heat up again. Homicidal All-Stars. You won't want to miss.